It's time for Good Game Spawn Point.
And today, we're exploring the mysteries of outer space.
In video games, at least. Coming up on the show, we build and battle mighty mechs in BattleTech.
Plus, I see if I can start a successful human colony on another planet in the PC game Surviving Mars.
And we're going to check out some futuristic tech, augmented reality gaming.
Did you know you can fit 1 million planet Earths inside the sun?
Amazing! I hear there's a volcano on Mars 3 times the size of Mount Everest.
Space is big!
High reach, Commander. Moving out.
When we get to a safe distance, I'm going to set off a little surprise I left behind for our Taurian friend. Acknowledged. Confirmed.
BattleTech is a turn-based strategy game set far in the future where humans are now spread out across space and use giant robots to fight each other in near-constant wars.
Did you know the BattleTech franchise was first created as a tabletop strategy game in 1984, but has since been adapted to many video games and other forms of media, commonly under the MechWarrior name. This latest game aims to provide the most faithful adaptation of the original tabletop experience to date, with many of the original creators and developers on the development team.
Oh, some good facts there as always, Darren.
Pew!
Now, early in the game, you find yourself on the losing side of a military uprising, narrowly escaping death. But a passing mercenary crew saves your hide, and after a few years, you're running the whole crew.
You'll lead your ragtag group through the stars, taking on contracts, making ends meet, all the while working towards getting revenge on those who defeated you all those years ago.
Yes, it's a classic tale of revenge told through some beautifully done animations. And I loved how invested I felt after making my character and choosing my backstory. And the freedom you have to travel around and take contracts or progress the story at your own pace is great.
Now, this is quite literally a game of 2 halves. One half up in space, managing your crew. Meanwhile, the action is happening down on the battlefield.
Time to get paid.
You send up to 4 mechs into battle, taking turns moving them around and firing on enemies.
I copy.
These are powerful, well-armored machines, but so are your opponents. This creates tense, long back-and-forth battles, where salvos of rockets and lasers tear chunks off each other's mechs. It feels just like how I'd expect giant robot battles of the future to play out.
Yeah, and you really feel some of those hits. It's super satisfying taking out a crucial component for a rare, quick takedown.
Go.
Especially since these battles can get hard quick. A few unlucky hits and you've lost a mech and a pilot.
It can seem like a lot to get your head around, and admittedly there are a lot of tiny details and tactics to uncover, but the basics are fairly straightforward. The main things you'll need to worry about are simply deciding what weapons and roles you want each of your mechs to have, and of course making sure you position them to make the most out of each of their loadouts.
I like how each map throws up interesting terrain or unique features that mix things up during the battles. Like forests or dust storms for cover, or desert planets that make it super important to keep an eye on those thermals.
Shutting down.
Yeah, nothing worse than overheating and shutting down mid-battle.
And you'll pay dearly for those mistakes. Damaged mechs can take weeks or even months to repair. Is yours still done yet?
Mine's in the shop.
We're down a mech, Commander.
While injured pilots are knocked out of action for just as long or wiped out completely. Meanwhile, those monthly bills are still coming in and you're struggling to put together a basic fighting force. It's tough going early in the game.
Yeah, for sure. But that difficulty does make it all the sweeter when you do finally get on top of everything. Bit by bit, you'll upgrade your ship, train your pilots, and get your hands on even more powerful mechs and weapons. And soon you'll have a thriving mercenary outfit that can handle any job.
Yeah, but just be aware this is a very unforgiving game, so don't feel bad about saving often or reloading if you find yourself on a mission that's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, good advice, Jim. Actually, some may call it cheap, but having to reload after a long battle or a few poor decisions is its own kind of punishment. This is a slow game. Waiting for turns to play out or your ship to travel from system to system can be quite tedious. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy that slower tactical pace, but sometimes you just want it to all hurry up.
Yeah, a few time-saving options like being able to fast-forward enemy turns or skip to a destination would have been really handy. I would have also liked if there was a way to save mech loadouts. It's annoying manually reassigning weapons and gear every time an arm gets blown off.
Yeah, definitely. Outside of the campaign, there is a 1v1 skirmish mode, where you can test your commanding skills against a real opponent or an AI adversary. It's pretty bare bones with only the one deathmatch mode and no progression systems, but it does the job of adding a multiplayer component. Gem, what do you think overall?
I had fun with this. The battles are terrifically tactical, and the management system gives you just enough to worry about to make you really earn every success. Giant robots are fun. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, there's weight and consequence to every fight in BattleTech, and that sets it apart and makes it a super solid strategy game. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens as well. Check out my robot. They'll put sound effects in post, right? And scoop in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the scoop! We've been combing the galaxy for the brightest stars of gaming news, ready to launch into the Spawnling sphere. First up, the latest batch of games that have reached new heights of game fame with their induction into the Video Game Hall of Fame. Inductees include 1962's Space War, an early game featuring spaceships firing torpedoes at each other for the PDP-1 minicomputer, and 1990's John Madden Football, a pioneer for the yearly update model for sports video games. Other finalists in the annual selection included Metroid, Minecraft, and Dance Dance Revolution. The games were chosen for their impact on the industry, popular culture, and society in general. Inductees will be permanently available at the Strong Museum of Play in the United States. It would have to be a pretty strong museum to house all those cool games. And next up, Pokemon Brick Bronze has been taken down from Roblox due to copyright issues. One of the more popular Roblox games out there, Pokemon Brick Bronze, was a free fan-made Pokemon-style game. It had a solid following, with the user group hitting 1 million members in March. But apparently the Pokemon company requested the game be discontinued due to copyright infringement. A cautionary tale for creators of other fan tribute games, the copyright owners might end up coming down on you like a Snorlax. Meanwhile, in Minecraft news, the upcoming update Aquatic will officially be the last update for Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, and Vita editions of the game. Microsoft announced that after this, it will no longer update the older console versions, as they only represent 5% of their active user base. The update is set to release within the next few months and includes things like new water physics, coral reefs, bubble columns, tridents, and dolphins. The older Xbox One and Switch specific versions won't receive the update Aquatic. Instead, users are encouraged to upgrade to the newer Bedrock editions instead. So make the most of that Aquatic update, old gen users. After that, you might be feeling a bit high and dry. And finally, those robots have done it again. 14-year-old Jack McLinden, who has been largely homebound due to a range of health conditions, was able to experience a Premier League match featuring his favourite team via the AV1 telepresence robot. Designed to help kids with long-term illness attend school from home, the AV1 comes from a Norwegian startup called No Isolation. It works like an avatar, allowing Jack to experience the match as a virtual mascot and meet his heroes via a tablet from home. What a heartwarming story. Even if robots technically don't have hearts, it's always nice to see technology enabling good things.
Oh, my Bluetooth is burning. Technology enabling good things, you say, Goose?
Yeah, hey Darren, you know, we've had a few robot stories in the Scoop lately. Have you been tinkering with the Scoop algorithm to give us more robot news?
I can neither confirm nor deny those claims. Oh, got to go.
Cool. And now for this week's final frontier, or final fun tier, the Extra Scoop. This week, we take a squiz at Stuff in Space. That's the name of a website featuring a real-time 3D map of objects in Earth's orbit. Using the website, you can see what satellites, rocket bodies, and space junk are in orbit right now, and even possibly track pieces of orbiting debris. Actually, I should probably start by tracking the debris at my place. It's a bit of a mess. Well, that's the scoop for this week. If you have something you think would make a good extra scoop, then you can let us know here. All right, who wants to give me a hand cleaning up my place? Anyone? Guys? Oh. There's an exciting piece of technology I've noticed more and more game devs moving towards these days, and that's the world of AR, augmented reality. Unlike virtual reality that completely replaces your vision, augmented and mixed reality devices alter and enhance our view of the real world, more like an illusion. You see, AR uses cameras to scan the environment you're looking at, and it maps out solid objects to create a virtual space. It then adapts computer-generated objects to fit within this virtual space, matching things like lighting, scale, and movement. Finally, these CG images are laid over the top of the camera's original view, merging the virtual world with the real one, or augmenting our reality. AR has actually existed since the early 90s and has been utilised in gaming with mixed results through devices like the Xbox Kinect, PlayStation Eye, and even the Nintendo 3DS. But now this tech has found a new home on our smartphones, powerful little pocket devices that are perfectly suited for AR with their high-def screens, gyro controls, and of course, a camera. So I'm catching up with some game devs in Melbourne who've successfully ported their mobile game into augmented reality. Robot Circus are the developers of the multi-award-winning game Ticket to Earth. So the big question is, with so much success from their game already, why add in an augmented reality feature? Nick, you're the creative director at Robot Circus. Tell me, why did you guys first adapt your game to AR?
I have been waiting for someone to ask me that question. I mean, it's a game about exploring an imaginary science fiction world, and AR gives us finally the opportunity to step inside that landscape and explore it for real. We've been playing around with a lot of AR solutions for a while. I guess we're interested in that sort of process of how we can extend games into the real world and make them feel more tactile and more engaging.
So how long did it take you guys to get your head around this new technology?
Honestly, not as long as we thought. Like, took us maybe about a month. Like, there was initially the technology work, just trying to figure out how to get everything to scale. And then there was a whole bunch of art we had to do because our game kind of has a camera fixed from a certain angle initially. Now with AR, you can look around all 360 degrees, so you could see where buildings didn't have backs and those kinds of things. So we had to map everything out.
What kind of challenges did you guys face with this new tech?
I guess the funny things we had was I was coming into work and just testing the game on the train, and lo and behold, we spawned the game, and then the game just like rolled away because the technology uses the GPS positioning to track where it is. So as the train moved off, the game stayed behind. So it was.
Did you find the game in the end, or?
No, I never found it.
Looking forward, there's, virtual reality, mixed reality, and augmented reality. Is there a reason you guys chose AR over those other technologies?
I think AR is extremely accessible, right? So if you have a phone, you can generally sort of start to experience AR. And I think we want to see what the opportunities are for us, both from a business perspective, but also from a creative perspective.
AR looks cool and is really accessible, but what does it add to the gameplay that makes it more than just a passing fad?
It was really interesting that how people kind of took to the feature. Like, we had a few people tweet pictures of them playing it on their kitchen tables and that kind of stuff, and it was kind of cool to see people actually used it.
You can see it now when you play the game in AR, that there is this very funky feel of a game coming to life in front of you, and I think it is that promise of the future that AR really holds out to developers.
What excites you the most about this new tech and where this can offer gameplay experiences?
I think it's creating brand new experiences that people haven't had. I think, like, nowadays, there's a lot of games where it's about better graphics, better experience, but there's not a lot of new mechanics and new things. I think these kind of technologies like AR and VR can give us brand new types of games, and I'm kind of excited to see what comes out of that.
While the concept of merging the digital world with the real one does sound amazing, could the development of augmented reality eventually lead us to a future where we're chased by giant digital billboards, or even worse, we can't get away from pop-up ads in real life?
As it gets more integrated into our lives, and if we have AR glasses on all the time, I can see a lot of benefits in being able to look up information or play games wherever you are. But if there's a lot of advertising or spam things in your field of view all the time, I could see that becoming quite a nuisance.
Obviously, there are caveats with anything, but I think as long as we're building things that are purely for entertainment, how can we go wrong?
Rooney, we've been searching through some questions, and I must say we've rustled up some great nuggets of question goodness.
Oh, I do love nuggets of question goodness, and nuggets in general. Let's nug in. First up, oh, would you look at that? It's one from the galactic chicken nugget in Goose's lunch.
He's got nuggets and he's been keeping them from us? Goose!
Hey guys, I have multiple questions. 1, do you know if there will be a Super Mario Galaxy 3? 2, do you have any information on Mario Kart 9? 3, will there be a Portal 3? Thank you guys, keep up the amazing streams. Everyone, do these. Thanks, you guys are the best. Oh, thanks Galactic Chicken Nugget, and glad you're enjoying our online live streams.
Hey, I hear that Galactic Chicken Nuggets are out of this world.
Galactically good.
Goose does sometimes have them in his lunch, although then he has to have them intergalactically shipped from the Nugget planet. Then when they get here, they're covered in all this dusty stuff.
Space dust, maybe? Or space flavouring. Yum. Anyway, to your first question about whether there will be a Super Mario Galaxy 3. We haven't heard any plans on a third game in that series, and I guess with the release of Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch last year, it seems a bit unlikely. I would actually think a Super Mario Odyssey 2 for the Switch is more likely.
Oh, that would be so good! As for Mario Kart 9, again, we haven't heard any official updates, but I'd say it's probable there will be another Mario Kart game at some point down the track. The question is when. It would certainly be great to see another Mario Kart for the Switch, considering that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was more or less just an update of the Wii U version.
I agree. Now to your question about whether there'll be a Portal 3. Again, nothing official on that front, but hey, reboots seem to be a popular thing at the moment, so who knows? It's worth mentioning that Bridge Constructor Portal was released earlier this year, which is a different style of game, but still set in the world of Aperture Science.
Lots of speculation there for you, galactic chicken nugget. But don't forget to take it all with a little bit of a smattering of salt for your chicken nuggetiness. Galactic salt, perhaps.
I wish we had a crystal gaming ball or a portal we could peer into so we could see into the future and see what actually happens.
Yeah, but sadly we don't. At least, I don't think we do. I mean, where's that hand that passes us things sometimes? Oh, hey! How's it going? How are you? Do you happen to have like a gaming crystal ball somewhere that can look into the future or something like that? Oh, a spoon. It's a spoon.
Okay, let's move on and dig into a video question from Alex.
Hey GGSP, I have been wondering how to download mods on Minecraft Xbox One Edition new version.
Oh, thanks, Alex. If by the Xbox One Edition new version you mean the Bedrock version, which has the Better Together update and is now just called Minecraft, well, for now there aren't technically mods in the same way that we would consider mods for the Java Edition on PC.
But there are add-ons and resource packs, and you can download these from the Minecraft online store, known as the Marketplace.
That's right. Add-ons include things like different skins or textures, custom worlds or mashups, so they're similar to mods, though not strictly the same.
Yes, and it is worth noting that you generally need to purchase add-ons with Minecraft coins, which you buy using real-world money. So definitely run that one by the grown-ups first. The G-ups, the Gronies, the G-you-did-ums.
Sure, okay. Well, let's crack into another question. This one is from Browner, Sonk the Hedgehog's Lord.
Hi GGSP, I have 3 questions for you. 1. In the Sonic games, why is Eggman named Eggman if he's not associated with eggs? 2. When is the next Minecon? 3. When is the next Sonic game coming out? Thanks. If you don't answer, I will destroy you.
Thanks, Browner. I think we should straight up call Darren about your first question about Eggman, though.
I love eggs.
Good eggs.
Protein.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Hey Darren, Rad and Gem here with a question for you about why Eggman from the Sonic games is called Eggman if he's not associated with eggs.
Well, there's a rather interesting story behind this infamous Sonic villain. When the game was originally developed in Japan, the character was given the name Eggman, or Dr. Eggman. For some reason, when the debut Sonic the Hedgehog game was localized for the West, his name appeared as Dr. Ivo Robotnik. The idea there was that Eggman was more of a nickname and Ivo Robotnik was his actual name. But after the Sonic Adventure series in 1999, the decision was made to honour the original name and refer to him once again officially as Eggman.
Yes, but Darren, what about the original question? Why Eggman when no eggs?
Well, perhaps the most logical explanation is because he looks a bit eggy, a bit Humpty Dumpty-esque, sort of round and egg-shaped.
Because he's bald. That makes sense, I guess. Thanks for the explanation there, Darren. Oi!
Ah, goodbye. I am the Eggman. I am the walrus.
Wait, did he just say he's the Eggman? Dr. Robotnik, is that you? Oh, thanks, Hand. Wait, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this. Oh, hey, I have a spoon. We can have an egg and spoon race.
We could, but first to Brianna's next question about when the next Minecon would be. We heard the next Minecon will be live streamed on September 29th this year. It'll be the second year that Minecon will be a digital event only, which means you can only catch it online.
Minecon line. Now to your last question about when the next Sonic game is coming out. Earlier this year, we got a glimpse of what looks like an upcoming Sonic racing game, but we're not sure exactly when that's due for release. So we'll just have to wait and see for further news on that or any other Sonic games.
And that's all we have time for this week. If you've got a question, why not make a video of you asking that question and send it to us? Here,
Hey, I wonder if Goose has any more galactic chicken nuggets in his lunch with the delicious space flavoring, and if he'll share them with us.
Oh, sounds like a plan. Come on.
Come on, Hand.
Breaking news just in, the Spawn Point Space Agency mission to Mars is landing today in the world's first attempt to live on another planet. Captain Rad will be the sole human on the initial setup trip, building facilities for the colonists that'll follow.
Sol 1. The landing went smoothly, so far so good. I've got drones to help me build stuff, a rover to explore with, a rocket ship full of supplies, and a transport unit to help move stuff around. Welcome to Mars. My first solar panels have gone up to give me power, and water and oxygen are on the way. I've started with a good stockpile of resources, and I'm even harvesting some concrete we found on Mars. This space colonizing stuff is easy, although the interface is not the best. Every time I try to build something or command a rover, I'm clicking left and right, and it's all too easy to accidentally cancel an order. Plus, it doesn't show me whether a planned building is connected to a planned power cable or not. It only works when one is already built. I've wasted ages scrapping buildings and trying to get things to connect. Surviving Mars is hard enough without the controls getting in the way. Not to mention, I've barely been taught what to do here. I'm figuring things out as I go. And you might say, hey Rad, that's the job, you signed up for it. You wanted to be a space pioneer. But I've run cities before, and they always at least had a handbook. Remember when I was El Presidente of Tropico? Now that was a city that knew how to get things done. But you know, it's cool. Hey, do you want to see something cool? It's science. I can research all this stuff to get new buildings and different perks, and I love me some perks. Pretty cool, right? Sol 14. Hey, guess what? We have a dome! This is where colonists are gonna live and work, and hopefully give birth to the first Martians. And it looks cool, man. Of course, we have limited space to build in here, and there's no way that I can fit housing, production, and social spaces in the same dome, but that's life, baby, on Mars. Sol 17. Exciting times, space fans. The first humans are arriving to live in the home I've built for them.
Milestone achieved.
So they sent the colonists here with 10 sols worth of food. To keep people alive and thriving, I need to grow more food on a planet where nothing grows. Luckily, I've got a botanist. Botanists, of course, are plant scientists, so there's no one better to be growing our food. In fact, there's a production bonus when people with specialized skills work in their specific fields. And we're going to need to be as productive as possible because resources are starting to get a little scarce. Sol 43. So, we've hit a small hiccup. Dust covers everything, which means you have to repair it. But repairing it costs resources. Even with millions of dollars in funding, I'm quickly running out of the materials I need to keep this place running. Luckily, I can order a cargo rocket to bring me all sorts of goodies from Earth, like new buildings or precious resources. But we've sprung a leak in the life support, and we're rapidly losing oxygen and water. I can't seem to command the drones to fix it directly, so I just have to wait until their automatic programming kicks in. But I can't find the metal I need to fix it, even though my stock list says I have it here somewhere, so I can't bring it to the right area, so the drones can't start fixing. It's so frustrating. Sol 74. Things are bad. Half my base doesn't have power, I've run out of almost every resource, and I don't have enough left to start producing or fixing anything. In the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the socks off this. I need to research 40 technologies by Sol 100, which means I need to get cracking.
Resources are low.
Sol 92. Each dome is hanging by a thread. I've had 2 rovers malfunction. I have 0 money for a cargo rocket, and there's no resources left on Mars. My only hope for any kind of victory is this research goal. Sol 100.
Research complete.
I did it! I researched 40 technologies by Sol 100. Science, baby. But life on Mars keeps trucking on, and there's not really a reward for reaching that goal. I like how challenging it's been to build a sustainable city on the red planet, even if the controls kept getting in my way. There's mystery, cool technology, and a huge map to conquer. I just wish it was more satisfying to achieve those milestones rather than just endlessly surviving Mars. I'm gonna give this experience 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Congratulations, Captain Rad.
Wait, were you here this whole time, Darren? You could have helped me.
Guys, I really hope we get to actually see humans walk on Mars in our lifetime.
It still spins me out we have a robot up there sending us back pictures.
Oh, space is the coolest. And if you want to see it with your own 2 eyes, then you'll definitely want to check out Stargazing Live, all across the ABC next week. It's an awe-inspiring event and not to be missed.
And just like the augmented reality I showed you earlier this episode, there's even an ABC AR Space Discovery app for download. You can explore the planets, shoot space junk, and heaps more. Make sure to check it out, it's really impressive.
Next week on GGSP, we sign up for the hectic action of the Laser League.
And don't forget to check us out online. We've got live streams, let's plays, and heaps more exclusive stuff on our channel. Come join the crew.
Until then, Goose out.
Rat out.
Gem out.